Hi, Yomi Lover here. Just wanted to talk about the movie Argylle. I went to go see it after waiting 2 months for this movie and all the hype that has been around it, and everybody saying, don't go see it, don't go see it, it's bad, or go see it, the book is bad, and the movie's good. And people on Twitter just igniting a war of people who think the movie's bad versus people who think the book is bad versus people who think it's all bad and then people who think it's actually good. And I am in one of the categories of people who think the movie is good, because when I bought the book, I didn't expect for the movie to tie into the book. So I'm going to get into major spoilers in this review. If you don't want spoilers, end this video now and go watch something else. Alright, so I'm going to get into it. Alright, so in this movie, we start off, Ellie Conway's character is really a writer, and she just, imagines Argylle living rent-free in her head, doing all these things that she, imagines spies would do, and making it as believable as ever. And, I mean, in the beginning of the movie's weak in the beginning, but towards the end, it gets stronger. The movie is stronger after a big reveal in the movie. And the big reveal is that Sam Rockwell's character comes in and basically saves Ellie Conway and ropes her into this world of spies trying to kill her and people coming after her because what happened in her book happened in real life. And that's the original premise that's shown in the commercials, but that's not what actually the movie is going to center around. And we get the big reveal that Ellie Conway, Bryce Dallas Howard's character, is Agent Argylle. She's Agent Argylle. From Samuel L. Jackson reveals this in a shed to her, and everything that she has written up to now is actually an amalgamation of her past memories as a spy in her previous life that she forgot because she went into a coma and she snapped out. Well, it wasn't a coma, it was more like an accident that made her lose all her memories, and she got captured by the opposing agency that Samuel L. Jackson's agency is going against to try to find all their dirty little secrets, and they got her first. And they convinced her that she was just Ellie Conway, a writer that, wanted to write a book and all this other stuff. So that's the big reveal. And once the movie shows that big reveal, it starts to pick up momentum. It stops being like baby's first spy movie with all these cringe lines with Sam Rockwell's character going, "Oh, those are the good guys, Ellie. I'm the good guy, Ellie. Those are the bad guys. You gotta watch out for those. You gotta trust one or the other." And it's like, those were cringy lines. Really cringy lines. But once the movie shows that big reveal of Bryce Dallas Howard's character being Agent Argylle, this movie starts to get better. And honestly, the action scenes were really good. There's a skate scene in this movie where Bryce Dallas Howard's character is just skating around and taking out fools and killing them. And it's just, it's amazing. She stops being a pussy in the beginning of the movie, from being pussified to being a badass. So she starts remembering who she is and starts taking people out. And for a while there, honestly, this movie was really made at the end. I think the payoff at the end is really good. And honestly, what to say about Hernry Cavill's character being in the film? You're not going to get much of him. He's just an imagined character in this film. But here's the thing. Here's the hopeful thing. Towards the end, he shows up as a anonymous, person, a fan, who asked Bryce Dallas Howard's character to answer a question for him. And he's a redneck, kind of hillbilly character. And then we get a scene of a youth in a cabin in a bar somewhere. And it says Kingsman Agency on it. That's the homage to the Kingsman trilogy that we have. I don't know if it's a trilogy, because one of the movies is a prequel. So it's not a trilogy. It's the Kingsman franchise. So we get a little homage there, and that's the crossover with the Kingsman universe. And honestly, seeing that scene, when I saw it, I realized what they were doing. They were setting up the book that they're basing... They were setting up the book, and they were also setting up the next movie to be based off the book, and to have this big reveal of who Agent Argylle really is. Because the youth is about 20 years old, and in the book, Argylle is 20 years old. I mean, we get introduced to him, he's swinging on a hammock in the middle of Laos, and being a tour guide for tourists, and showing them the jungles and the safe parts where the drug cartels aren't. And anyways, that's his life, and that's how he starts out. And it's just, you know, they're just introducing you to who the real Agent Argylle is. So the youth says his name's Aubrey Argylle, and so we're left to assume that's the real Argylle, not the guy that raised his hand and asked Ellie Conaway a question. But, you know, that is Hernry Cavill's character. He is in the movie for a little bit, for a little brief period. He's only in it for, like, in total of his scenes, he's in it for, like, 7 minutes. And that's not a lot of time, so a lot of people are going to be disappointed. If you like The Man from U.N.C.L.E., you're going to be disappointed, because you don't get a lot of Hernry Cavill in this. And I know a lot of people were hyping it up and showing up at his, you know, his rallies, not rallies, but, you know, his promotions for the film. And they showed up in London, they showed up in Korea. A lot of people love Hernry Cavill. And I can tell you from right now, I can tell you from the start that there's a reason he's likable. He's just kind of one of those figures that are kind of down to earth and yet larger than life. And like I said in most of my reviews, he has a way of bouncing back. These are his bounce back films. And honestly, I don't agree with Nerdotics saying that this film is a stinker and it smells like cock-a-doo-doo. But the film was not, you know, bad. It wasn't The Flash bad. The Flash was awful. It had bad CGI, and the story was just, you know, what they thought a multiverse story would go, and they explained everything with spaghetti. That's like, what? I am so lost right now. So anyways, this movie is different because it's trying to establish, you know, Argylle. And after they say that Bryce Dallas Howard's character is Argylle, it's kind of a question of, well, what is Hernry Cavill's character doing showing up at the end? And it's, you know, it's left for the audience to wonder what the next film is going to be about. So they're trying to rope you in early so that way you watch these films. And I'm going to be honest here, if this movie was, you know, trying to be based off real life, you're not going to get realism in this movie. So I was wrong about that. Realism is kind of just fictionalized in this movie. There was a part, like, the smokescreen part where they're shooting guns together and dancing. That, like, the smoke itself makes a little heart showing that they're, like, a couple and all that stuff. So that's a little imagined. And it's a cool scene, but it's imagined. It's not real. Like, real spies, if they were doing this stuff, honestly, they would get caught right away and killed right away. You would be dead. You would not be able to walk away alive from a mission if you were doing all this stuff that they were doing in this film. So a lot of people will find that unbelievable. And I don't even think spies exist, man. If spies did exist, they wouldn't tell you they were a spy. You'd just be dead in a cabin somewhere and forgotten about the world, because they're not going to let you go if you find out they're a spy. I mean, that's realistically what most people would believe. And anyways, so this movie was okay. It was not blow me away, Godzilla Minus One awesome. Godzilla Minus One was blow me away. This movie, decent. A lot of people are going to wait for it to come out on streaming. And once it comes out on streaming, they're going to just watch it there and not watch it in the theater. I think that's a shame because, I mean, you know, this is Hernry Cavill's comeback film, and we need to tell him that, we need to send a message to him personally that we like him in these films, and we think he should do more grounded stuff. I mean, his run as Superman was great, but, you know, that time is, you know, I don't know if that time's ever coming around again. I really don't. I haven't held out any hope for it, but the fans are lobbying for him to come back as Superman, and a lot of people are saying if he does come back as Superman, it's going to be a reboot, and he's going to, wear the cape and cowl, but be differently written by somebody else. And if they write Superman to be more like the comics, that'd be great. I mean, people did their research. Thank you. You finally gave the people what they want. Honestly, I would rather get a Man from U.N.C.L.E. Sequel instead, because I actually like that movie. I really like that movie, and I think it's better than Man of Steel, to be honest, because it feels more like the Man from U.N.C.L.E. feels more mature than, say, Argylle does, and more mature than, what Matthew Vaughn put for us out on this, on this film. So if you guys want to see an actual, real good spy movie that's done right, go see The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Just, put it on and watch that. But I'm not here to say that the movie's bad. I am in the crowd of people that say it's a 7 out of 10. It's not bad. You could do a lot worse. You could do The Flash worse. Alright, well, that's all I had to say for this review. Hopefully you guys liked it, and I answered some of the questions that you guys were having about the film before going in, and you have everything you need to know. Alright, peace.